Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-March 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the lovely Geminis here mid-March? What's energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see who might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini. What is the vibe? What do we got going on here in mid-March for the Gemini collective, please? Let's get this first card out nice and quick. There it is. Ask and you shall receive. Oh, we have the Femme fatale for you this week. Now, this is a card that does not show up often. It's a very confident card. It's beautiful. There's an allure to this card, but there's also some things that we definitely want to watch out for with her. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards then, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So we see this beautiful woman. She's dressed in red. She's holding a red rose, little red bird. There's some Venus flytraps on the bottom. And she usually reminds me of the Queen of Wands. Now, that energy to me is all about self-confidence normally. So whether you're feeling good about yourself, maybe you're feeling like, oh, all right, I'm getting back to normal in regards to something, that could be really good. Again, there's a beauty, there's a confidence, there's a sexiness to this type of energy. It pulls you in. So when I see this card, there could either be something pulling you in, or you might be very magnetic in this time as well. But the thing we always watch out for with the Femme fatale, although beautiful, although very alluring, there's a little danger, right? Roses have thorns that can cut you. These Venus flytraps, they emit a beautiful scent, but they trap you in when you come in close to it. So there could be something that might seem good that you need to be very cautious with whenever this card is here. I mean, for some of you, yeah, if it's just you feeling confident, feeling good, feeling rejuvenated, awesome. But if there is something that's like very tempting, very appealing, this card could represent it, and you might want to be cautious about it when the Femme fatale's here. So we're just going to put her down right there for now. She could keep chilling out. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say the first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Geminis. Let's go. And yeah, while we shuffle this up and get it ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Serious Talk, and it does link in with the reading from 2 weeks ago as well. It seems like communication has been a big focal point for the Gemini readings in the recent couple of weeks. So whether it's serious talks that you need to have, certain things that need to be addressed, or ones that are popping up, I mean, it could be any variety, really. But we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So when we take this, how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for the beautiful Geminis. What's happening in mid-March, please? Very quick. And we do have the Emperor. That's an energy that can work well with Gemini, that's for sure. Big Aries energy. We're just going to place him right here by the amethyst, and he could chill out for a few minutes. Let's get a couple more. I like the Emperor in most cases. Oh, okay. Now we have the 9 of Wands, very cautious. So notice we have this little theme with the Femme fatale and now the 9 of Wands. It's a very cautious type of vibe. So whether that's a mood you're in or something that you need to adopt. Let's get one more. What do we got here for Gemini, please? Thank you. 4 of Pentacles, very closed up type of energy here on the back end. So this could be good depending, right? I mean, that's the thing with all tarot readings. It really depends on your situation. But these energies back here, they're not really budging too much. And they're holding something on or holding in something. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. And we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, there's a lot of fire. And you know, I always look at the elements first. There's a lot of fire around the Gemini collective, which as an air sign, that's a complementary element. It's something that you could work with the Emperor and the 9 of Wands. Now, this is the realm of action. It's the realm of movement. interestingly enough, these energies, they don't seem to be moving. So when I get stagnant fire energy, it tells me something could be building up underneath the surface. A lot of powerful energy here. We do have some earth on the back end that could represent earthly matters, money matters. But notice, like, all this energy, it seems to be very solid, at least on the surface. So hopefully it's not like a deadlock of some kind. It's just something that doesn't seem to be moving. So it's going to be intriguing to see what comes out underneath them. But let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out, because we could have a couple little warnings this week. Nothing wrong with that. But position number one, we're starting with the Emperor, the King of Kings. Now, for a portion of you, you might be connected to an Aries. If you're not connected to an Aries, the Emperor could represent authority figures. It could represent divine male or masculine figures. So think bosses, managers, stuff like that. The Emperor is a shot caller. Now, it's not a bad card. It gets a bit of a bad reputation sometimes, but all cards have positive. When I see this card, it's somebody taking charge, taking control, saying, you know what, this is my ship and I'm going to steer it however I want. So that could be a really good thing. It's a very much take charge type of energy. So there could be various things you're dealing with where you might just have to take the reins, or you might have to take charge, or you could have more control than you think you do with this. Watch out for issues with authority in general when this card is here. Now, the big challenge that comes up with the Emperor, it can represent individuals that are a little too controlling, a little too micromanaging when this card is here. And sometimes it could even represent situations that are out of our hands. So we really want to look at that. For a lot of Geminis, there could be various situations going on where it's like, oh, I did what I could. Or there could be just something about it where it's like out of your hands. So we'll look into it further for sure. Now, moving to the middle, this next card really intrigues me because we have the Nine of Wands, the Wounded Warrior. This is a card of somebody that's been through quite a few things. They've been through some situations and they don't really want to go through them again. So if you're in a time of recovery, this is a card that could represent that. It's a very cautious, on guard type of energy. Now, the thing that I like about the Nine of Wands, it could be territorial and it's protective of the things and the people that it loves. It's, you know, not letting something get by. So it's like, oh, no, I got my eye on this. I got my eye on you. So whether it's a situation, Spirit could be saying, like, all right, well, keep an eye on it. Don't let your guard down. Be very cautious. There might be a situation you need to be cautious about as well with this card. Now, where does the challenge come in? This could represent blockages. Someone that's building their walls. Miscommunications could be a big thing with this card. It can also represent rejections. That's a big thing with this card because that person has built the wall and you shall not pass type of energy. So we want to see what's up, especially with like the Emperor knocking on the door and then even this energy that we have here towards the back. So again, it doesn't mean you're rejecting a person. It could just be a situation. It could just be a feeling. There might be a feeling where you're like, I'm tired of feeling like this. I mean, it could be various things. It could be habits, like you name it. So we'll get into this Nine of Wands. Now, moving to the very back end, we have a very similar yet different type of energy that does have its own little bit of positives. We have the Four of Pentacles. And we see this individual, they're clasped onto that pentacle, they're holding on for dear life. That's how it seems. Now, this, I'd say, is a neutral card. The positive aspects of it really tie into financials. So when it comes into the monetary, investments, saving up for big things, like this is really good. I often see this when someone's either thinking about a big purchase or saving up for one. It's like stashing your pentacles for a rainy day. So I feel like it's good for anything financial or career related because it's a sense of stability. Where the issue comes in with the Four of Pentacles is when we get into emotional things or emotional aspects. This could be something that somebody hasn't quite let go of yet. This could be feelings of anger, sadness, bitterness, jealousy, possessiveness. And that's something we could say about this Emperor here in the front end too. There's a possessive undertone to this week's reading. Okay, so I'm not saying that's you. It could just be someone you're connected to. But it's like holding on to it. Worst case scenario, it could be grudgy. Best case scenario, it's somebody that they're just still processing something, which is interesting with it being right here next to this Nine of Wands. Now, the big thing with both of these, specifically on the back end, they're not budging. They could be very stubborn. So it could be something where, like, on the surface, it doesn't seem like much is happening. On the surface, it seems like not much is going on. But when we get to the undercurrent of energy, that's when we're really going to see. So I want to dive deeper on all the Gemini. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle here for my Geminis, please. What is happening for my good friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Mr. Emperor. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Emperor time. What's this energy of control about? What is the Emperor doing here, please? Cute. Oh, okay. There she is. I mean, at first it seems like it could be really good because we have the Queen of Wands. And remember, I was saying this in the very beginning with the Femme fatale. This could be really good. For a lot of you, there could be a situation where, I mean, if you just enforce your power and your strength on it, you might get better results than you think. That's like a big vibe, like not being passive, which is interesting because I saw it in a few different signs this week where I'm like, oh, well, maybe you should take the passive approach. I'm not quite seeing that here for you. It's like, no, Gemini, take charge. You take charge of this, you'll probably get a better result. Now, if you are connected to a fire sign, they're showing up here heavy. The Queen of Wands, I love it. As I said with the Femme fatale, it's very confident. It's beautiful. For a lot of you, this could be a real rise in the way that you view yourself, where it's like, you know what, I've accomplished a lot, or I've been through a lot of things. I don't want to quite say it's cocky. I mean, unless you're dealing with an individual where they think they could walk on water and they think they're the gift to everybody, because this could sometimes, if we're looking at the challenge, represent someone that's a little too confident. But I feel for the Geminis, this is good, but we just need to see how this energy is going to go, because it's like, I'm confident moving into this. I'm confident with my momentum. I'm confident with the fiery type of energy here. But again, it all really depends on your situation, especially if you're connected to fire signs, because they're showing up here in a pretty prominent way. But it is about taking action and taking control. So whatever it is you're dealing with, whether it's love, personal relationships, whether it's work-related things, it's like once you take the wheel, you'll feel better and you'll get better results. Okay, so you might have more control of how something goes than you think. Let's keep moving. Because we're starting good, I just want to see what's up with this energy here that seems to be putting up a blockage. So let's go in on the Nine of Wands. That could be another thing. This energy could pressure. You could put pressure on. But let's see why the Nine of Wands is here, please. What's happening for my good Gemini friends, please? What's the Nine of Wands here? There we go. Thank you. All right. So for some of you, and notice all the fire energy that's showing up in your spread this week. It's just all over the place. This could be in a good way, but I also feel like this is two things here. When I see the Nine of Wands and the Two of Wands in reverse, it's either a surprising or unexpected problem or a rejection of some sort, where it's like, no, well, I thought I wanted this. Maybe I don't. Or, you know, I felt good about this. Now I really don't. So it's like giving me that odd type of vibe where it's like, yeah, well, it was full steam ahead. I liked where things were going. But then there's like that last second switch. So just watch out for that in this time, Gemini. There could be various situations where you feel one way, you might be feeling good about it. And then after a little time passes, the whole script begins to flip. Now let's go a little further in depth. The Two of Wands, usually if it's in the upright, it's a card of strategy, planning, decision-making, choices. When it's in reverse, it's like, I'm not deciding, I'm not making a choice, I'm stopping it right here. Either that or it's an unplanned type of energy. So those are the two main forks I see here. Watch out for little speed bumps, unexpected or surprising problems or issues popping up, because that could be the case. Or it could be that rejection too. There could be an energy that you felt great about, but now you don't. Or that can most definitely happen in this time with what I'm seeing. So we're just going to keep moving forward. We're not going to get stuck there. Let's see what the Four of Pentacles has. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. This could also be like someone changing their mind, like changes of feeling, changes of heart. So it's very interesting how it all presents itself. But let's see what that Four of Pentacles has for you, and we'll do our recap. So why is the Four of Pentacles here? Okay, so the very cautionary type of energy is still here. We have the Six of Swords in the upright underneath the Four of Pentacles. So for some of you, you might be holding out hope for a breakthrough of some kind, or hoping that something's going to come back around or return. Not saying every single Gemini, but when I see the Six of Swords, it's either something that's going to get better on its own. So for some of you, that could be good. There might be a situation where it's like, all right, well, it's going to go one way or another. It's going to, whether it's going to go good or go bad, it's like there's nothing I could really do about it. So it's either going to improve on its own or it's going to degrade on its own. But another vibe I'm getting here with the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Swords, it's like I'm hoping that this energy comes back. I'm hoping that I get another crack at this. So whether that's you or somebody else, it's like it's hoping that something can be attempted again. Right? That's just the big energy here. Aside from all the stuff that's going on up front, so it's like we have separate things, and they could all be one big thing, or I mean, it's so much different energy, it could almost be confusing for some of you. So watch out for situations that kind of throw you for a loop. Six of Swords usually does represent improvement. But yeah, underneath the Four of Pentacles, it's like, all right, either I'm holding out hope for something, or this is just going to do what it does. Okay, which is interesting because we have this energy in the beginning where it's like, no, do action. You make it happen. This one on the back end, not so much, where it's like, you know what? I'm just not gonna. Let's just see how it goes. Leave it up to the universe. So it's like you have a very intriguing mixture of energies happening this week, Gemini. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, position number one, we started off real nice. Tons of fire energy up here in the front. But we have the Emperor with the Queen of Wands. So there is a strong emphasis on your self-confidence in this time, or just feeling good about something. I did say for certain situations, if you grab the wheel and drive, you're probably going to get a better result. If you're steering the ship or if you take control of it, this could also represent you feeling great about something, where it's like, yeah, no, I feel good about this. But moving to the center is where the energy does seem to switch. Watch out for changes of feeling, changes of heart, or where something that felt good now doesn't feel as good anymore. We have the Nine of Wands with the Two of Wands in reverse. Watch out for surprising or unexpected problems popping up. Or this could even be a rejection of some sort, where it's like, no, well, I wanted to, but now I don't. I was going to do it, and now I'm not. So there's like this energy of a wall being built. So hopefully that's not a person you're dealing with. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Four of Pentacles with the Six of Swords in the upright. I did say there's this energy of somebody feeling like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it in the universe's hands. Whatever happens, happens. It's going to do what it's going to do. But another vibe I was getting here is someone holding out hope that they can revisit something. So whether that's you or somebody else, it's like, I hope I could give this another try. Maybe not right now, but I hope I could give this another go. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a bad thing. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got in the shadows for Gemini? Thank you. Okay, Six of Pentacles. That's not a bad shadow card. It could most definitely be worse. Now, the Six of Pentacles is usually very charitable, very giving. There could be something where it just needs a little bit more time. So it's interesting how the energy shows up, where it goes from like wanting to push something, take action, to nothing at all. There's a big extreme. When I see the Six of Pentacles, it's a vibe of somebody wanting to make something right, or make something equal, or something balanced. I always say this is a very giving energy, but it's also based on equality. So for a lot of Geminis in this time, if you feel like you're doing too much and someone's not doing enough, that could bother you a lot more than it normally does when this card is here. Now, this could point to some good things coming in. The Six of Pentacles is a very, very good card. It's not like the Cups where it just talks about the history. So I do feel for a lot of you, hopefully with this as a shadow card, it's things coming into a state of balance on their own. That could very much be the case. But watch how much you're giving to situations and make sure there's not an imbalance. That's the big thing. So Gemini, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me and get a little glimpse into whatever situations you're dealing with, you can check out my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The March schedule is up and live, but for the March subscriber surprise, giving away 3 copies of one of my most favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, where in this beautiful big world are you from? I'll go first. I'm from New Jersey, and you could just put it down in the comments and you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.